Hi, I'm Todd Pappy, Game Director at God of War Ascension. What you're about to see is a making of video that we've been shooting over about 2+ years. It gives you a good idea of the inception of an idea all the way through to the final product. Keep in mind that this is a work in progress. Enjoy.
The Empusa is a mythological character, which is this sort of succubus type. The character from mythology is a woman with a flaming head, bat wings, one bronze leg, and then the other leg is the leg of an ox. So the character itself is ridiculous. So I did a whole lot of sketches that followed the canon to a T, and it was wrong. It just looked stupid. So I did other sketches where I just kind of went out in the left field and I started introducing bug parts and just made it real weird. They actually ended up liking some of the really weird stuff I'd done with it, and when you see the character in game, hopefully that'll carry across. She is a succubus. She's supposed to be enticing to men, and that's how she manages to get close and suck their blood. Everything in the core is very sort of standard feminine ideal, and then as it gets out to the extremities, you can see it gets real twisted and freaky. I pitched a reveal for her where perhaps it's like the sex mini game, so you can walk up to her and you know, initiate the sex mini game, and then the reveal is, boom, it's this horrific, awful monster. This is the one I thought they were gonna go for. She's less monstrous and more sort of ethereal and otherworldly. There's her hat poking into her head. Here's some action shots of that one. I was so sure that they were gonna go for this one that I started like expanding on the idea a little bit further. So I thought it'd be really cool if she would come out of the walls, sort of like the Wraith. The Wraith in the last game came out of the floor, but I figured it'd be interesting if she came out of any shadow. This one is the closest to what they went with in the end. The whole like normal features in the center, and then the reveal of these horrible, twisted, withered limbs with stabbing weapons and sticky bits. And this is the rough final. There ended up being some color shifts and some changes to her headpiece, but overall, this is pretty much what we ended up with in the game.
One of the things we focused on with this character were the breasts and the face. You can see these were concepted by Izzy. Izzy concepted some of the best boobs in the industry. So there's a good roadmap there. So we kind of focus here, obviously, on making her feminine. The rest of it is easy. Creature stuff is just fun. This is meant to seem kind of traumatic of a transformation. As you can see, there's still some dried blood, and it's kind of poking through, almost as if it's kind of creeping its way up her body. Her head will be covered in flame. There'll be smoke and whatnot coming out of her back. This will all be glowing. The most interesting things probably about her are these joints. You can see there's our ball joints, and all of them can rotate 360 degrees, which allows for a lot of pretty interesting animation.
Being able to be kind of like a contortionist was a different idea, where she could scuttle on the walls and bend her limbs into very, very uncomfortable positions. And Bruno is going to be the one animating it. He's looked at some contortionist material, and having her be on her hands or on her pinchers or whatever we want to call them, and have her legs wrapped up around her, and she's looking out at you, but the legs are still there. When she's moving, the joints are popping out of place and kind of feels a little bit of painful.
She can break her joints and have those things point in a different direction. So it's a little unusual, you know, we haven't had a character that quite has done that before. The tech art team had to kind of do a little research on how we were going to be able to do that. So it's a specialized rig that we haven't done before. She had special requirements for sure.
She's basically a human character. Aside from her spiky limbs, she's got like a regular human torso, she's got regular shoulders and thighs. We can actually use our regular bipedal rig on this character. The focus then came with deformation helper joints to keep the volume in the areas where she would be overly twisting or overly crunching and bending. She's got her normal arm, but if we switch this, she can actually break her arm and have it kept broken and move around. In this other animation, you can see that she's actually lying on her back, walking towards you with her legs broken. The thing that took the most time was trying to figure out how we're gonna support all these broken limbs. So we can get her into some pretty weird poses, and it's really up to the animator and his or her imagination to take it as far as they want to go.
Here's a couple of animations of her. As you can see, she's able to stand upright and also able to kind of go on all four legs. She's very acrobatic. Some of the inspiration was sort of the capoeira Brazilian martial art. She's able to use her limbs in many different ways. This is more of the seductress stance, seductress pose. She's very delicate, almost like a ballerina. She's very graceful. That's something that we wanted to get across, that she could be this sort of graceful character, but at the same time, very threatening. So as you can see here, it's more like the spider mode climbing up the wall. We wanted to make her feel different than any other character that we've done before. The actual kill sequence, once Kratos gets his hands on her, he's basically slamming her to the ground, twisting her limb backwards, and basically using it to drive her back through it.
PlayStation